Hey guys, Fat Preacher Man here, and you're about to watch my video on doing a system transfer. Now there's a couple things that I hit along the way that I'm going to tell you about beforehand so you can try to get them done before you start. The first one is to back up all your trophies. Make sure every trophy for every user has been uploaded to this system to synced with Sony. Then you also want to go through each user and disable the video and disable games. Then you also want to update both of the systems to the newest operating system. And I'm gonna put the times that I do those, so if you haven't done that before and you're curious, or if you want to see me do it, then I'll put the times down here in the description below. And again, this transfer is a transfer from system to system. So welcome to it. And again, any questions or comments, send me a message. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on a message here in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. See you soon. Hey guys, Fat Preacher Man here, and this will be doing a full system transfer from the Slim 320 to the Super Slim or Slim Lite 500. All you need is both systems, an Ethernet cable, and preferably a TV that'll let you switch between the two if you have them hooked up on different feeds. If not, you're going to have to switch back and forth manually. If you can get two TVs next to each other, or one TV that has multiple inputs and you can switch back and forth between the inputs, that's really ideal. Or if you can do a split screen. But if you can't, then you can work around that. You can use, remove the input, the output from the HDMI or from the AV slot and go back and forth. But that's not ideal. What you really want to do is, like I said, either get two TVs next to each other. They don't have to be high def. You just need to be able to read what's on the screen, or one TV that has multiple inputs where you can go from one input back to the other, moderately easy. And you need some time. I would estimate this is probably going to take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. Now I'm not going to record the whole thing. I'm just going to give you snippets, brief points of interjection, and I'm going to give you some screenshots. And of course, I'm trying to answer any questions that might come up. Questions came up the first time I did this. This is probably, I think, my 4th time doing this on different systems. So we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so setting up the systems is pretty easy. Aside from the power cords, which I'm going to have to plug into the other one, you're going to have an Ethernet cable run from one system to the other. And that's it. So if you followed my other video and you have your PS3 hooked up to the internet through this, you're going to have to unplug it from that, and you can use that same cable or any other cable, any Ethernet cable. If you have one, the 1 gig ones work really fast. The stronger the cable, the faster, the more information will be able to travel from system to system. So that'll help you out. Once you get the Ethernet hooked up, then you want to hook it up to the TV, and that's what we're about to do now. So we'll see you in a second. Okay, so here it is all set up. Got the cables going in the back. Got the Slim. You got the Super Slim. And like I said, on my TV I have it set up so that I can go back and forth from one to the other. Missed it. And here we are. Okay. So from here, what you want to do on both systems is you need to get them to the you want to go to the system settings, and go to the data transfer utility. And then it tells you some of the stuff that I was telling you, that you're going to be able to copy, move data that is saved on this one PS3 to another. To transfer data, you need Ethernet cable, 2 PS3s, make a connection, then turn the systems on again. Prepare for the transfer. First set the PS3 to send the data, and then again. So that's what we're going to do. This is the one that I want to send from, so we're going to hit OK. So we want to send data from this system to the other system. Actually, I'm going to record this too on here. Okay. So once you are ready and you know that's what you want to do, you hit X, and it's going to tell you it's preparing. Content items that were purchased from PlayStation Store have been found. To use this content on the PS3, you must first deactivate the system. Do you want to cancel use of data transfer now and deactivate the system? To do so, you must log in as each of the users below and then select System Activation on the PlayStation account. So I'd have to go under all these and deactivate it. That's if I want to do that. So like James, Apostle Boy, Fat Preacher Man. So do I want to do that? Yes. So I go back over here, and right now I'm under Fat Preacher Man. So I go under pause it. Okay, so we're going to go under account management, and you have to do this with your internet connected. So if you're using wireless, it's no big deal, but if you've already hooked up the Ethernet cable, then you'll have to disconnect it and reattach it. And you're going to go under System Activation, PS3 System. I don't have PSP hooked up to here. Game, deactivate. PS3 System, video, deactivate. Another thing you might want to do just to make sure that there's no trophies lost in this mix is to update your trophy. And what this does is just make sure that they're all sent over there, and that's completed. And I do other users. The other main user on here is my other ID, James. Again, you go under the PlayStation Network, go to Account Management. And the whole reason you have to do this is because each digital item you download is only eligible to be used on 2 systems now. It used to be 5, but now it's on 2. Whoops. Go to System Activation, PS3 System. Like I was saying, it's only able to be used on 2 systems. So once you reach that limit, it's not going to let you do it. And that's to try to curb those of us out there, or those of you out there, because I don't do it, not that I'm better, but I don't, who game share, file share. Let's see, who else did it say we need to do? Teacher girl. So I'm going to stop this while I finish this up, and I'll be back at you guys in a minute. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to make sure the systems are connected again. Go back into System Settings. Data Transfer Utility. Okay, okay. Okay, check that you've made a direct connection, and you hit OK, and the other system is turned on. So now we need to go to the other system. Go into the data transfer utility. Okay. Transfer data from the other PS3 to the system. Now this option is best if you have a new system that you want to, like what I'm going to do with my old Slim. I'm going to take it online and sell it, and just keep the new Super Slim because it already has a 500 gig memory in it. And that's really one of the ways this is ideal. If you have If you have a new system, you want everything just transferred over to. If you're upgrading your hard drive, this would be not ideal for you to do. You would want to do a data transfer. By backing up your information, you get a nice big external hard drive. You format it to FAT32, and then we have another video about that coming up because we did that for another system. We upgraded a Apostle Boy's system to a 500 gig also, and so we have a video about that coming out also pretty soon. So if you have a system where you just want to upgrade the hard drive and you're not getting a new system, that's something different you want to do, so you want to check out that other video. This video is if you have a new system, an old system, and you want to swap the memory over to the new system. And again, this takes a couple hours. The other one takes a couple hours also, but the main difference is that you won't be moving any hard drives on this one. The other one, you're going to do the backup, pull out the hard drive, put in your new hard drive, and then do a restore. And it'll restore all the information, all the settings, everything, and so that's pretty good. But the main problem with that is if you already have a large hard drive like a 320 gig or 120 gig, you have to have an external memory device that's large enough to hold all that information. And again, it has to be formatted to FAT32 as a file system. And if you're not familiar with how to do that, we're going to take you through the steps in that in the other video to show you how you set up the files that way. Because there's other things out there that I found that can show you that. For example, you can do it using DOS, but that is very tedious and slow. If you've got the money, if you got $50, you can buy a program online, and it does it for you like that. And it's really nice, and it's pretty simple to do. Because most large hard drives nowadays don't come in FAT32. It's exFAT, or I think it's NTFS file system. But again, the PS3 to the USB port can only read the FAT32. Another thing to remember whenever you're moving hard drives is that the system formats the hard drive for itself. It's like, if you will, an animal with a cub. It puts its scent on it, its marker on it. So if you take that hard drive and try to just put it into a new one, it will format it before it uses it, and thereby erasing, destroying all your information. So that's not something you want to do unless you don't care. If you've gotten a hard drive, let's say you're borrowing. Okay, so hit a snag. It says that a system software update is required. So we got to exit out of here. And go to the top, system update, update via internet. Okay, pause it. Okay, because my older system had the new update on it, and my new system didn't because it's brand new. I have to do the update first. And again, this is Sony's way of trying to protect themselves and protect us so that people don't want to turn it off. So people can't hack the system. Doesn't take that long, as long as you have a good internet connection. And again, if you already have the Ethernet cable plugged in and you're using Ethernet for your internet, you're going to have to unplug it, replug it back in. And if you're at this step and you find out, you're going to have to restart the whole process over because it interferes and messes it up. So that's something we're going to have to do. And again, when you're doing this, if you hit little hiccups like this, don't let it distract you, don't let it get you down. Things like this happen. Just make sure when you do this, you devote yourself some time, 2, 3, 4 hours out of your day, that you can not have your PS3 up and running and have a TV devoted just to the PS3s. So that way you won't feel upset, overwhelmed. You won't feel like chucking it out the window when things like this happen. So then after it downloads, while we're here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a gold controller for my new PS3. It does not come with this. It came with the actual normal black DualShock 3. This is actually a foreign knockoff, in case you guys are interested, which is why the P3 in the middle is fake. But it works pretty good. The D-pad's just a little stiff. Otherwise than that, I don't have a problem. Just thought I'd share that while we're waiting. Give you something. Okay. Okay, so now it's doing the install. And after the install, then I have to go right back up and start it back up. So instead of making you guys sit through this, I'll see you back here after this.
Well, I for sure am happy about the PS3, the new one, because it's smaller, and as a female, it's a lot neater and can fit into places a little bit better. And of course, Apostle Boy thinks the loading on the top is pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it has the less moving, working parts something has, the better. The less likely it's to break down, the less electricity it's going to use, the less heat it's going to generate. So since it doesn't have the disc ejector tray, it's one less thing to break down. It's one less thing to draw electricity. The footprint is much smaller. It seems just as quiet. Again, it only has 2 USB ports, which I don't care for. But the good thing about that is you can't overload it with a bunch of USB stuff drawing extra electricity through it. Pretty much otherwise than that, it seems like it has everything else the other PS3 Slim has, just in a smaller, neater package. Again, the finish on this one is kind of in between the original PS3 and the Slim. The Slim had that matte, kind of grainy, bumpily finish to it. This has areas of ridges and areas of smoothness, and the smoothness will pick up on your hand oils very easy, I've noticed. So if you're like me and you like your system clean, just keep some static-free computer wipes nearby and wipe it off whenever you have to use it. Again, some recommendations that I've offered up on the how to prevent the PS3 from getting the yellow light of death video. Make sure that it's in an area that's ventilated. Don't let any of the front, the back, or the sides become crowded or cluttered. Maybe every month, every 2 months, wipe those vents off. With the new one, it seems like it can stand on its side. Just be careful if you have a lot of activity, horseplay in your house. You may want to buy the stand that they have for it. I don't know, that's up to you. I always kept mine flat because of convenience. But if my house or the room I kept it in was smaller, like a lot of guys I know have it in an apartment, have it in their bedroom, and it's closed off, you want to try to, if you can, put it on its side. That lets the heat escape more rapidly. And you know, the nice thing about this, okay, sorry, let me interrupt myself, but before receiving the data, the system storage of this system will be formatted, which is pretty funny because it's a brand new system, it's all, but it's just warning it. Because again, this, if you try to transfer from a system that already has information, this warning would be valid, but this doesn't matter. Do we want to continue? Yes, we do. If you format, it will be deleted. You cannot restore it. It's trying to tell you, are you sure? Yes, we are sure. Thank you, PS3. Formatting. Didn't take too long. So what it's doing now is preparing the HDD on the Super Slim PS3, the Slim Lite, for the information from the previous PS3. So it's formatting and make sure there's nothing in the way.
And don't forget, no, turn off your system when this is done.
Yeah, you definitely want to do this like when we just had that storm recently. You want to make sure that your power grid is stable, that you're not going to have any eruptions either physically or electronically. Here we go to sparkles. Yay, sparkles. The PS button to use the controller. And now it's receiving data. Remaining time counting. Now, like I said, my previous system was a 320 gig, and I believe I had about 200 gigs of information on there. So I'm pretty sure this is going to take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. I'm not going to have this video be that long. I know other videos I've made are much longer, but I just want to get through like 1% to show you that it started to work. And then I'm going to shut it off and come back towards the end, and then we'll just talk about the cleanup process, what you do with your other system and stuff like that. But once you get to this point and it's started, as long as there's no hiccups, no power outages, no kids or children or dogs or cats knocking your system about, you're pretty much set. And once this is done, you should be able to log on, make sure your passwords are okay, and your system should be good to go. You just unplug the Ethernet, plug back in your internet, or make sure it's programmed for the Wi-Fi, make sure all your settings are there, and you should be good to go. Your other system should be formatted also. So if you're ready to get rid of it, sell it, whatever, give it to friend, brother, cousin, it should be good to go. So it shouldn't be able to get your information. But again, watching any of this, if you have any questions, please hit it up in the comment section. Send me a message. You can hit me up on Facebook at FATPREACHERMAN. Hit me up on Twitter at FATPREACHERMAN. YouTube, FATPREACHERMAN. It's FATPREACHERMAN, FPM, baby. So check you back soon. Okay, so here we are at the end of it, and I think that the PS3s really underestimated it, but they both say they're done, and that is what's important. And again, like I said, I would walk you through what you do once you're done. So on the main one, the new one that we have up here, just gonna go real quick, hit the back button. Now that it's all set, I'm going to go down to my ID. Gonna unplug the Ethernet cable that was connecting the two systems and plug back in my internet Ethernet. Like I said, I recommend using Ethernet if at all possible with your PS3 for the simple reason that you get a stronger connection and you don't have your system trying to use the Wi-Fi all the time, which is just more wear and tear on your system. Oh. And as we signed in, I don't know if you can see, let me see, it fixed the time for me automatically. Brought up all the information, it's got all my songs, my vids, applications, games. Let's double check the saves. I didn't have any of those. Game data. 6, Rage, Infamous 2, all that's there. Save data. Boop, boop. That's there. So, and it's got all the users that I put here. So now all I want to do, again, you go under Account Management. Go down to System Activation. And now you're going to activate it for games. And activate it for video. Is done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this one off. We can check on the other one. Okay, exit out of there. Let's save them out. I am on that too. Okay. So now, all this information that I had on here is still here. All the games and music and movies and stuff. But because I'm going to be selling this, so I'm just going to give this to a family member, then I can leave the games and stuff and whatever. But I'm not going to. So, I'm going to take this, go to System Settings, go to Format Utilities, format the storage, yes. Quick format, yes. I want to continue. It's nice and fast. We're going to restart the system. And there we go. And my games, and my saves. It still has the IDs on there, but there shouldn't be anything under the IDs. Like if I go to FATPREACHERMAN, you see that there is nothing. Save data utility, nothing. Game data utility, nothing. So now all I have to do is go through here and delete these users, and it's good to go. Again, got any questions, comments? Love a video response. Love to know if you've done this and if it's worked for you. Please check us out, subscribe, like, check us out on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to check back for lots more videos coming at you. Gameplay, cute animals, and lots more PS3 action. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. Jesus bless you, and good gaming.
Don't you forget to subscribe.